a good time. That's what I keep on saying till I lose my mind. Feel like a bird in the sea breeze, shine like a moon in the last sky. Can you believe it till the end of your life? Go with some ducks into a room, that's enough for satisfaction. Already know how to have fun, no need of explanation. What's it worth of nothing? What's it worth of nothing? Surely that doesn't matter. Storyteller. What's it worth of nothing? What's it worth of nothing? Oh no, it doesn't matter. So we will never lose. That I can never be taller. That she loves some another. Just cause you think you know me, don't try to change my mind. Happiness of seeing a newborn. All fusions that could be dream of. Everything will be judged by our mortal life. Go with some labels in the hands. Great papers that I need a phone. Don't mind if they make a mistake. Now don't tell the hell I love. What's the worth of nothing? What's the worth of nothing? Please spread these words forever. Storyteller. What's
track. Hey, that guy's Howdy, howdy, howdy. Cody with IronVerse Comics. Doing another copy Cody and Comics. A little later than little bit of a welcome. I'm curious if you folks can guess what this real thread is. Not so familiar, but the concept, thread of it, what they're both doing. I'm gonna give it. Oh, why is the mic so low? Mike. I don't know what's up. Trying to speak closer into it, see, but the level's terrible. Max volume. What? So back looks like cut. No, see how that's done? Double. I don't know why it's like that. Yeah, it is. She's got me. We're gonna see if I can fix that. Oh no. Check. It needs to be working. It's frustrating. Closer to the face. Pop filter removed. How about that? Anything? Check. Is that better? Hold. Hold. Is better. But I don't think it fixed it. What the hell is going on? I don't have anything in particular using the mic any different than I've ever done that. That's frustrating. Why would active background off? But this is different. Anything. What? Back off. No, I don't have a noise gate on. I don't know why it's acting like I have a noise gate. I'm turning that off. I don't even know what that is. And like I have to gain up rather significantly. We'll pump it again. Check, check, check. Well, that's frustrating. Didn't want to start this by doing that, but I guess it's fine. It would need to be done anyway. Let's see. What else could be fudging with it? Nothing. This is a good track too. Say yeah. There it is. Huh. Okay, so that won't fix it. In fact, that will break it. Okay, so not that. That's all right. To be honest, I am quite unsure what's going on with that. Huh. I think it's better now. I think I got it consistent. Let me see. As long as it's not cutting out again, I'm fine. Let's boost the gain out of it too. Oh, come on. Say something. Why is it so low, though, is the question. Oh, well. Okay, well. I can throw a ton more gain on it. Let's go like 24 gain, something like that. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. I don't know why. What are you doing this? With the wrong mic. Check, check, check.
Impassive Echo Enzyme said,
Oh.
"Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer promotion of your channel. Viewers, followers, views, chatbots, etc. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Flexible and convenient order management panel, chat panel, everything is in your hands. Turn it on, off, customize. Go to streamrise.com.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. If I wanted a service like that, I'd go looking for it. Yeah, go away.
Impassive Echo Enzyme said,
Oh.
"Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer promotion of your channel. Viewers,
There we go. Okay. Cool. Well, I know that part's working again. You know, it's the correct mic. My concern was maybe it was the wrong mic, but I should have known because the quality was just bad as if it was the wrong mic. It's the quality's not great, but it's not webcam mic level.
followers, views, chatbots, etc. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality."
Yeah, go away. That part's working again. You know, it's the correct mic. This is right up in my face, but I need like right here, just way up in my mouth, just kind of ASMR it. I don't really want to do that. I think I'm just going to max the gain, and we'll see how awful that is. Just boom. Full maximum. We're not even peaking. Huh. Okay. I'm not a yelly kind of streamer, so it should be fine. Skip track. Thank you. Something not. Okay, down. Then let's listen to this sucker. Okay, down. Then let's listen to this sucker. Sounds fine. Been peaking. Huh. Okay. There you go. Okay, that seems like a decent mix. We'll have to go with this for a while. I don't know why it's like that. Oh no, maybe not enough power getting to the mic. I mean, that's a maybe. Maybe if I try the mic in like a USB 3 instead of USB 2. But we don't need to do that as long as this has been solved enough. So it's solved enough. We'll get to the matter at hand 20 minutes in. Feel like there was one more piece of this puzzle I didn't like. Bless you. Sneezy dog. All right. What does this do? Oh. Is that better? I guess. Sure, we can go with this. Oh. 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 Interesting. Oh, it's way too close. Unless I want to do this. Then I am centered. The frame. Doing bum bum bum. Let's get this back on. Because I need it. Those are all correct. Yeah, good old Persona. Okay. Been kind of putting this off. Oh, this is gonna be rough. We're gonna talk about something truly soulless. Or, I don't want to say soulless. The soul is, almost would be better to be soulless, because then it would be easier to, ignore. Let me make sure everything's good to go then. What? Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's weird. YouTube glitch says I have 4,829 comments, but the comments are for dank pods. This video is live now, and it says the comments were placed 2 years ago. That's fun, YouTube. Good job. We'll say at least the bot apologized. That's so much better. Let's see. Yeah, I guess we're good. Did I even check? Yes, we're good over here. Good, we're good there. We do have a mission too. Do I want to do the mission first, or do I want to do it afterwards? And should I put the puffball back onto the mic? These are all valid questions. I think we'll put the puffball back on the mic. I don't know if I pop my peas, but should help with that. Checking the mic. Check. Levels are still low even though I have max gain. Max gain usually leads to distortion. I mean, that's one of its perks in music or what have you. Huh. Okay. Let me see if that works. Kind of dodging this because I don't know how I want to phrase it. I'm still thinking on it. It's kind of dodging. Okay, that's working. And the gain is working as well. Cool. As long as I'm hitting the, the 30 on or so on that visualizer, it should be fine. I don't think I'm going to be peaking out. Just weird. I should be peaking out at this volume. No, that wouldn't be the issue. I don't know what the issue is, but I think we're functional. I'll finish this cold coffee and we'll get to it, I guess. We'll just rip the Band-Aid off because it's, Oh, why is that like that? See how it's only like a sliver? That's the thing. Why only sliver? Why is it even showing the sliver, in fact? It's an even better question. Oh, it's because it's because the AI content. Okay, cool. Last stream was for To Walk with Giants, and so it, has a different setup. Alright, so I'm here. Ugh, okay. It's what I've seen for a while. This is X.com. It's a cesspool for just taking out your ignorance on other people or wasting your time trying to correct others' ignorance or collecting fear into your psyche. But there's a lot of other things to it that are great, but it's very good at those three things. So I guess I just needed to comment that angle on it. We'll just dive into it. This post from Illumin Bean. So, first off, from what I can tell, this is a Chinese company. It's a digital tech kind of company. And this is their effort into comics, right? Yeah. On the full NFT, they just leaned right into that as heavy as possible. Now, as far as I can tell, God, Born Ape's still alive. It's crazy. I have not seen the artist, but let's go ahead and go into this.
My month.
It looks like real artists. I don't think they're using AI for the book, but I can't tell you that for sure. What's publicly available on AI and what's not publicly available is probably a relative world of difference. They're trying to do digital trading card style comic book NFTs. Every word of that disgusts me. And so, I've seen crowdfunding indie in particular. They tear out each other again and again, mainly due to either ideological differences or jealousy or just being an asshole, which is usually part in all three of those, or both in ideological differences and jealousy. But it's not to me, right? I'm not talking from personal experience of people treating me like ass. I'm very good at navigating those waters. I don't tend to attract those individuals. But nonetheless, I notice it in the space, and a lot of the time it's usually, and we'll talk about this too. Did I save that though? Display screen. Let me see. It's a kind of an older tweet, and I don't think I bookmarked it. An older post, they call it, right? I should be able to find it. Yeah, here we go. Here it is. Display screen. Oh man, band's right on it today. This is how I phrase it, right? Because it gets annoying. I've been in this space for 6 years now, particularly the social media space for marketing your independent crowdfunded book, whatever space or ideology or camp. Let's just use the word camp that you find yourself within, because these camps are far more diverse than they would like you to think in both cases. Again, left wing, right? It's the same fucking bird. It's just one thinks it's a better wing than the other, and they're both heading to the same place and both driving to the same place, and it's not the best place. Anyway, it's usually somebody like this, and then somebody like this. So there's a heel and a face, you know, wrestling style, right? Usually. Most of the time, I've found that the faces, quote unquote, are also assholes. So it's kind of hard to really call them faces. It's like heel, but there's a heel that people would rather
Stream
deal
Elements said.
Oh, I'm now live.
IronVerse Comics is now live streaming just chatting coffee Cody and Comics 90B while Indie Comics tears at itself. The real threat just grows.
It tears the hell out of itself. That's like a half hour it took for that to process. That's crazy. The big one is, I think some of it is this. I don't know if it's like organized for that, like a wrestling performance, you know. I think there have been a couple cases I've watched that would have been considered that. Some folks got together and said, okay, well, I'll do this for you to do this for me later, or whatever, or we'll both benefit from it, whatever. But the idea is this, right? You get some kind of drummed up controversy that gets people interested in engaging with the controversy, and you lead that energy into your product. I've seen that again and again and again, and then people get tired, quote unquote, but they're still talking about it. They're just talking about it as if they're tired of it. Then there's usually some kind of break, some kind of like, okay, well, everybody's done with this, and there's a break. People forget what's going on, the engagement levels and the fighting kind of chills for a second, and it does the same thing. And sometimes it's the same people. This cycle is awful, and I think it is terrible as well, but I don't think it's a threat to the medium. And I don't think it's the threat to the, I don't think it's as much of a threat to the medium as kind of what I was just pointing at. This, at least, the circus that this cycle creates, at least allows engagement and builds personalities and characters and stuff that people will want to engage with. There's also the fact that it will run off a lot of customers. It's just a fact. That's its threat, right? It just will, because it's not a pleasant space for most folks. But for some, it keeps them interested and engaged with those creators. They're it's the folks who want to watch the violent news every night. It's the folks who like gossip, right? It's that crowd, and that crowd will spend money on your product because of you. That can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing. I think for the medium overall, it's not a positive, but it's less of a threat than the cheapening of the medium, which is what this shit is doing. Now, how successful is this? I don't know. How many followers did they buy? I don't know. Right? Like, I don't know how actually effective any of this is. You have the magic trick that's presented to you. But you don't really have the working behind it. Yeah, let's go with this. I think this feels better. You guys can kind of see my movements better. And this is only going to get more and more common. And this bit is what got me. Because, yeah, no, it is stodgy. But when you open with this...
Eliza Bar said, "Let us get some drama going. Do you want the pro or anti-EVS Twitter followers on your side?"
I think I would only have a chance with the anti, and I don't want to either. I do not. I mean, it would be nice for them to read and enjoy my book and support the work, but I don't. I don't. I've thought about that many times, just to see what would happen, but I'm sadly not built for that. I say sadly. I think it's very good for my mental health, but I don't know how good it is for the success of the work. But anywho, this bit, just the direct cheapening and commoditizing of art in general. It's right now. I don't think there's ever been anything like it, and I think artists understand that to a subconscious degree, but they're just like, well, trudge on. And particularly in this crowdfunding indie space where it's just like, oh, let's just go at each other, whatever form it is, whatever camp you find yourself in. Sooner or later, that's not even going to be an option. The market will be so glutted with bullshit, with cheap, generated, corporatized, cold, mechanical, sterile, maximum profit leveraging sewage that we will all choke under it. Just straight up. And this is every medium is under attack from this kind of vibe. But this in particular, comics is not a strong enough medium in terms of appreciation and in terms of dedication and respect in the mainstream public to weather that battle. It will go down first. We've already seen AI generated, I mean, and I don't even know first. I think first will be what we've already been seeing with it, which is the human connections to other humans. We're going to artificially replace that. That's fun. I think that one is just too much of a lure to many people because it's so much safer and easier than actual human connection. I think that one, that's probably where the first domino will fall. But in terms of art and artistic mediums, I don't think comics can weather this. Film, to a certain degree, will be able to because it's a mainstream bit, but it will still be crowded out. But the more we fight amongst ourselves for the few remaining scraps, the less scraps there will be to fight over, and eventually there will be nothing left. I haven't seen anyone truly with the capability to build, quote unquote, to put a rock down and then push forward for comics in general. Even the big two can no longer do that, or they refuse to do it, or they're deciding not to, whatever. They're not doing it. Independent comics are not. Manga is, but that's a different story. And it certainly doesn't help independent crowdfunding comics over here, except for potentially opening the door to some readers, maybe. I've seen a couple platforms trying. Again, Global Comics is trying to modernize comics a little bit. But comics, as this individual says, it is a stodgy industry. Overall, there's not enough money to go around, and what money does go around tends to not be to the maximum benefit of the medium or the creative work being put out. It's rough, and I just kind of wanted to address this fact that this shit will not stop. It has no mercy. This is the actual fight, and is it the Kabbalic ritual? You know, divide and conquer. And then the other bit is make a problem that requires the solution that you desire. That's also occurring everywhere.
Eliza Barr
It's rough.
said,
It's rough.
"Hey, to quote Lord Keynes, the eminent economist, in the long run we're all dead, so why not fight over the scraps and enjoy the declines? AI is going to replace us all anyway and imprison our minds and bodies in tiny 24/7 monitored cages, or I'm feeling nihilistic today."
It was funny. I had seen the as soon as the GTA 6 trailer dropped, right, there was a conspiracy theory floating around that those are the AI within that game is captured consciousnesses. I just thought that was hilarious in terms of like, yeah, sure. But as a potentiality, oh yeah, and it's terrifying. Make a copy of you and torture you for eternity in one form or another. Yeah, I can see that.
Eliza Barr
Eventually that could be
said,
easier than programming a
"Oh,
self-aware
that's
AI.
a wild conspiracy. You got a link or something I can look at?"
I don't. And it might have just been some random forum post. It's from the relatively right-wing kind of weirdo conspiracy web forum. It's a very old forum, though. It's been around since, the early 90s, I want to say, called the Godlike Productions. I used to go there when I was younger, and it had more of a pseudo-mystical bent to it, which I enjoyed exploring. I could get a lot of alternative links and information out of there. Now it's what political discourse became, so it's not always that fun. But you can get some crazy ideas like that, because there's some interesting folks there. But yeah, I think that's where I saw it, and I don't remember if there was an article behind it or not.
"Interesting, I'll see if I can take a peek sometime."
Yeah, it just, no, it's worth it. It's fun. I don't think Intel Hub's around anymore either, but that was another one I like checking out when I just wanted random crazy shit to look at. I don't know. The real threat is, and I kind of mentioned this at the beginning while I was fixing my mic, which, fun, was, if nothing else, this cheapens the medium. And this is already a medium with not that much prestige behind it. And that's what the movies seem to also have done. Instead of raising the prestige of comics, it seems the films actually lowered the prestige of comics. And it's, I mean, I don't know how much lower the prestige can get, and I don't really want to see how much lower it can get. We're kind of at the bottom. And so when you're tearing at each other, how much further of a hole can we dig? How low can this bar go before it's untenable for anybody but these corporate machines, who can just throw weight and time and money at things to make them maybe not be successful, but to happen, right? My work in particular, it happened because I was able to throw passion and will and creativity and a great team at things. This, if I could just throw money at things, it would have been a very different kind of story. But yeah. But it's just, this is the thing that like nobody's talking about, that like I come across pretty consistently, because the films gave comics this like pseudo prestige, right? It gave it this like, oh, this is, I could get a film out of this kind of prestige, right? Like, it's not actually the medium's prestige. It's the prestige of the potential of what that medium can be used, and I will use the term used for. Just like this. This is like, I don't think this is like a passion project that had to be in comics. I think comics was a cheap medium for which to try and push forward for a film or a video game, or in this case NFTs, right? Just to put a brand on your zeros and ones, so that those zeros and ones might be worth something. Now again, I don't think
Be uploaded.
this art isn't incredible, but I don't think it's AI generated. It's not terrible, but again, I mentioned it earlier, what's publicly available AI and what's privatized AI in terms of being able to express art, and also in terms of we just had the Midjourney leaks where it showed a massive list of artists that it had
Elizabar
scraped from.
said, completely unrelated question, did you get a chance to peep The Boy and the Heron in theater?
Nope. I don't even think our theater had it, to be honest. I would have loved to. I heard it's really good. And of course, Miyazaki's still going at it, even though it's because he doesn't trust anybody else to keep that studio alive. But nonetheless, I would really like to see that. I'll see it when it comes out. Comes out for home viewing, whatever version it is. But I don't think this is AI art. I think they actually did pay an artist to do it, which is great. I'm glad somebody got work. I'm always happy when an artist gets work. Again, this is an incredible art. This is like B-tier Boom Dynamite Studios level artist. It's fine. But it's being presented as this big deal. Again, it's very puffed chest, corporate marketing, throw a lot of money behind it kind of vibe to it to make money. And to honestly, I still think that this artificial limitation of digital goods is a absolute scam and a shame, like many other big scams that humanity has pulled upon itself again and again. It's ugly. And yeah, you got like, oh, EBS not delivering books. You've got ideology being shoved down your throat. You've got all these different bits in comics that, yeah, it sucks, but it's not going to kill the medium in the long run as much as a cacophony of this. Like, this is just... That still has a soul. It still has a person behind it. It still has potential for growth and knowledge and interaction and all these different things. This, as it builds, only exists for profit. And there's not that much, as we've been seeing with the global economy, there's not that much profit left to go around. And within art in particular, it's going to get rough. And sure, they hired an artist this time. Next year, will they need to? Probably not. Which means that their price for entry will be much lower. And they can put out maybe 10 issues of their book in a month. Hell, they could probably do it in a week eventually, right? If you're just having a robot generate everything. You thought competing with mangaka was tough. Like, this is a whole nother level of blah. Now, you would hope that the human soul and spirit and all that can override and overcome, and the value in that will be much greater because there will be less of that out there, because it's tougher to survive as that in an environment that this bullshit would create. Yeah, it's all well and good, but that's
said,
only a possibility.
Tim Lim will become a cyborg so he can draw 4 books at once and outwork the AI Kappa.
I mean, how hard he works too, poor guy, for that. I mean, it's great. I'm glad it's led in a direction that I know that they wanted, which is wonderful. And it was all Will and doing the work. Beautiful, beautiful example of how things should be done. But I sure hope so. Comparatively, go the transhumanist route where it's only half robot. See, it's better. It's half robot. But yeah, I caught this in particular, this post, and I was like, oh, what is this? And I went and looked. Right? I wonder why I had to reset. Give it a second. How up their own ass they are. I'm even gonna look at the guy. It's very cold. It's so cold. Now, this was the thing, when NFTs were really big and like this new thing that they were pushing so fucking hard and landed as flat as as a fucking pancake. But it didn't go away. It just kind of stopped. People stopped paying attention to it. That's great, but it's not a thing that dies when you stop looking at it. It's a thing that festers when you stop looking at it. You stop treating it. And I don't know. I think it would be wonderful if there was a redirection of attention towards this. Again, with the Midjourney leaks where it scraped Frank Miller and Miura and all these incredible talent, some who are no longer around to even defend their own art. Jeff Smith, he's around, but I'm just like, it just came to mind again that he's part of those leaks. Of course, Alex Ross was, and Sienkiewicz was, and like all the fucking big names in comics. Their data was scraped for Midjourney. It'd be wonderful to see a class action lawsuit about that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's such a massive whack that, and comics in general is so disorganized and ununified, which is great. The independence in the comics is one of its keys, but it's also one that certainly doesn't allow you to fight a beast like this. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that, particularly because I came across this in my feed a couple times, and it's anathema to everything I believe comics should be. Let's do loot boxes, because it's digital trading cards. Let's do fucking loot boxes in comics, and I'm guessing generate the images for the trading cards via AI. Do a couple issues with a person, and then wait for the technology to catch up where you can do full issue. Because I know a lot of the fully AI generated comics got laughed off the internet, right? It's like, oh well, look how good this is. And it's like, it's nonsense. You had to apply words to nonsense, and so the book itself was nonsense. You can at best call it visual poetry, and the poetry was nonsense because it wasn't really a very good writer behind it. Hell, I did an experiment with that for Halloween 2022. I did a poetry paired to AI art for Halloween just to see what I could do and what feelings I would get behind applying that to what AI art currently is very good at, which is horror. It is very good at making unsettling, disgusting things. And I enjoyed the process, and I'm glad I completed it and all that, but I eventually removed it from public view because I no longer believed that work should be out there. Just straight up. Since AI is basically a giant collage, was it fair use? All these questions hadn't been answered at that point. And at this point, it still hasn't. Like, I know there's been one ruling that went one way, and there was another ruling that went the other. So as far as I'm currently aware, again, unless there's a large class action lawsuit, as far as I'm aware, it's still kind of falls under free use and can be monetized. Basically because of how they launder, that's the term I'd use, they launder this art. As long as you put it through a couple levels of scrutiny and you tweak it a little bit, suddenly it's yours. I don't know. I think the commoditization of artistic ability is a far bigger threat than who said bad things about somebody else's work this week. I guess is kind of the culmination of this whole stream. Like, it's not even like close in my eyes. I'd rather have a bunch of assholes running around fighting each other again and again to make money than the complete cheapening and it's like sucking the medium dry of all of its lifeblood. It's awful, and you know, it might not be a problem. It might be as hollow and pathetic as it feels it is, right? But if it's not, if anybody really leans in it and sticks with it and really pushes it, it could be rough. It could be rough. Go from fighting another person to fighting a machine. It's a very, very different situation. I'd far rather wrestle a bear than I would a robot bear. Neither one am I gonna likely win, but one of them I can hurt. I don't know. I felt I needed to talk about these people in particular because I can guarantee they're not the only company doing this. And even if they're just paying for followers, which it kind of looks like, it still gives them a stronger platform than even myself after, say, 8 years of work has been able to build. Now, some people are much better at building things than I am, right? Like, that's no question. But I would say I'm a very average case of trying to build something from nothing in comics. Like, well, not average case, but a slightly above average case is what I'm saying. It's not a complete success story, but it's a success story. It's not just trying something and then never being able to get it done. And I think folks like me will lose that opportunity as this grabs any kind of footing. Now, will it again? I don't know. And I very much hope not. And I think having the word out about it will help. Now, is it my word gonna make a difference? My voice is very quiet on this, but my platform of footing and the megaphone I have isn't very loud. But I'd love us to redirect the energy that's internal to this, which should be external. This should not be a part of this medium. This shouldn't be a something that can find footing and can actually succeed. Now, again, only time will tell. But I think folks should be more aware of it and should tackle it and treat it as the pariah it should be. And that kind of covers it. It's been a good time trying to fix this mic I've got here. I don't know why it's resetting everything, but okay. Yeah, see, like this, and how many followers does this guy have? Yeah, 10,000. You got 3 replies to it. So I think it's pretty dead, but nonetheless, it's God, look at all these buzzwords. It's just web chain, communities, modernize, cultural experience, Web3. Like, that culture is the enemy of art right now, just in general. It doesn't matter what medium, and it should be fought on every bit, and comics has the weakest footing to fight it, and therefore needs to put forth the maximum effort to fight it. Oh, buddy. I want to make more comics. I don't want to see things get worse. Yeah. I would love to live off of comics. That would be a great thing. Take care of my kids and my family and my life with art. Good art. Solid art. Meaningful art. Not build a machine to extract the most amount of cash using a medium as your weapon. Okay, well, I phrased it. That's it. I don't have much else to say today. I just wanted to stream on this. I wanted to bring attention to this because folks like Eric July and EVS and Heather Antos and all these other big controversial figures in the medium, they ain't the same threat to this, right? They're They're annoying. This is terrifying. So anyway, just be careful out there, folks. If you actually got to this and listened to it, thank you so much. I didn't really want to stream that long today. I gotta do other things. I do want to make an update to issue number 4 of Jack First Delivery. It's good news because I've been back to work. I've got the solid footing now. I'm saving. And the wonderful co-founder of IronVerse Comics, Dollar Coins, he's going to invest to help me finish fulfilling issue number 4, which is incredibly kind. And that should start moving again. We should finish international distribution by this summer. Hopefully finish the entirety of fulfillment by this summer, which would be incredible. But we should finish delivering all the books, start finishing delivering all the books by the middle of this month, which is really cool. I'm really stoked for that. I've needed that part of this journey off my shoulders so I can consider even what the next step is. So that's the good news. I'm very hopeful for that. I'm excited to get that book into more folks' hands and to, you know, finish my part of the bargain, which I've been not so great at the last 2 goes at it. So that's why I got to consider what even the next steps look like. But that's the good news. If you made it this far, I'm glad to share that with you. I will be making an Indiegogo update to that effect. Middle of the month, that first investment should come in, and then we'll start putting that out. Yeah. Kind of a depressing stream. I don't like doing these too much, but I also wanted to see what an inflammatory title would do. So we'll see. It's probably going to be closer to the VODs that get views with my stuff anyway. But it's a fact, though. This is more of the real threat than actual human beings at this point, and I hope other folks can recognize that, because it's the seas aren't going to get any less choppy. I don't care how good of a boat you've built. It's going to help, but you're going to still be at risk of capsizing any moment. Alright, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Cody with IronVerse Comics, and I hope you find something amazing to read soon. I need to read more. I don't remember the last thing I read comic-wise. Yeah. Need to get back into that. Anyway, adios amigos, vaya con Dios, and I will catch you later on.